You were never meant to live a life of excuses, average thinking, or playing small. You were built for victory, designed to rise, and born to conquer. But the truth is most people will never tap into that power because they keep choosing comfort over growth, fear over faith, and excuses over execution. And if you're going to step into that conquering mindset, you have to understand something at your core. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to hand you greatness, and nobody owes you success. You've got to go out and take it with relentless hunger and unmatched intensity, because being born to conquer isn't about where you start. It's about how you finish. It's about waking up every single day with a mindset that says, no matter what comes my way, I will not break. I will not fold. I will not quit. And when life hits you, and it will hit you hard, you don't sit there complaining about how unfair it is. You get up, you adjust, and you keep moving forward, because conquerors don't waste time crying over obstacles. They turn obstacles into opportunities. They turn pain into power, and they turn setbacks into setups for something greater. And if you really want to conquer, you've got to kill the excuse mentality completely. You can't say, I'm tired, I don't have time, or I'll do it tomorrow. Because tomorrow is not promised, and excuses are the fastest way to kill your dreams. You've got to develop a level of discipline where even on your worst days, you still show up, you still grind, and you still give everything you've got, because greatness doesn't care about how you feel. It responds to what you do consistently, and that's where most people fall off. They rely on motivation. But motivation fades, it's temporary, it's emotional, and emotions change. But discipline, that's what keeps you going when you don't feel like it. That's what separates the conquerors from the crowd. And you've got to train your mind to operate at that level, to push beyond comfort, to embrace the grind, and to understand that every sacrifice you make today is building the life you want tomorrow. Because conquering is not about luck. It's about effort. It's about resilience. It's about refusing to stay down when life knocks you off your feet. And most importantly, it's about belief. Because if you don't believe you can win, you've already lost before you even started. So you've got to speak victory into your life. You've got to see yourself succeeding even when nothing around you shows it. And you've got to move with confidence even when doubt is trying to creep in. Because the battle is always first won in your mind before it's ever seen in your reality. And if you can control your thoughts, if you can silence the negativity, if you can push past the fear, then there is nothing on this planet that can stop you. Because at the end of the day, being born to conquer means you refuse to live an ordinary life. You refuse to settle for less than your potential. And you refuse to let temporary struggles define your permanent future. It means you step up, you take responsibility, and you go all in on your goals with a fire that cannot be extinguished, no matter how tough it gets, no matter how long it takes, because conquerors don't quit. They rise, they fight, and they win. If you truly believe you were born to conquer, then you have to accept one powerful truth: pain is not your enemy. It is your training ground, and every single level of greatness you are chasing is going to demand a version of you that you have not yet become, which means you cannot stay comfortable, you cannot stay the same, and you definitely cannot expect success without struggle, because the reality is that greatness is forged in the fire of adversity, and most people quit the moment things get hard. But conquerors, they lean into the difficulty, they embrace the pressure, and they understand that every late night, every early morning, every sacrifice, and every moment of doubt is shaping them into something unstoppable. And you've got to develop that same mindset where you stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this teaching me? Because every challenge carries a lesson, every setback carries a seed of growth, and every failure is simply feedback pushing you closer to success. But you'll only see that if you refuse to quit. If you refuse to let temporary pain turn into permanent defeat, and that's where most people get it wrong. They think pain is a sign to stop, when in reality, it's a sign that you're growing, that You're stretching beyond your limits, that you're stepping into a higher version of yourself, and if you can shift your perspective like that, then nothing can break you, because you'll start to see pain as part of the process, not a reason to give up. And let's be real, conquering anything worthwhile is not supposed to be easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it. Everybody would be winning. Everybody would be living their dream life, but that's not how it works. Success demands something from you. It demands discipline, consistency, focus, and above all, resilience. And resilience is built when you keep going even when you don't feel like it. When you push through even when your body is tired and your mind is telling you to stop. When you show up again and again despite obstacles, despite the failures, despite the people who doubt you, because those moments, that's where champions are made. Not when everything is going well, but when everything is falling apart. And you still choose to rise, and you've got to understand that every sacrifice you make right now is an investment in your future. Every time you say no to distractions, every time you choose discipline over comfort, every time you push yourself beyond your limits, you are building something that most people will never have, and it won't always feel good. In fact, most of the time it won't. But that's the price you pay for greatness. That's the cost of being someone who refuses to settle. And if you're serious about conquering, then you've got to fall in love with that process. You've got to embrace the grind. You've got to find purpose in the struggle, because that's what separates those who dream from those who achieve. And at the end of the day, the pain you feel today will either break you or build you, and that choice is yours. You can either run from it and stay average, or you can face it head on and become extraordinary. But one thing is certain: you cannot conquer without it. You cannot grow without it, and you cannot become who you're meant to be without stepping through that fire and coming out stronger on the other side. Because being born to conquer doesn't mean life will be easy. It means you have what it takes to overcome anything that stands in your way, no matter how difficult, no matter how painful, no matter how long it takes. You keep going, you keep fighting, and you keep rising until you win. If you were truly born to conquer, then you must understand that motivation alone will never get you to where you want to be. Discipline is the real game changer, the real separator, the real force that turns dreams into reality, because motivation is temporary. It comes and goes based on how you feel, but discipline is a decision. It's a commitment you make every single day, regardless of your mood, your energy, or your circumstances. And that's where most people fall short. They wait until they feel inspired. They wait until everything is perfect. They wait for the right moment. But conquerors don't wait, they act, they execute, they show up whether they feel like it or not, because they understand that success is built in the days when you don't feel like doing the work. It's built in the moments when you're tired, when you're frustrated, when you're doubting yourself, and you still push through anyway. And that's the mindset you've got to adopt if you want to dominate your goals. You've got to stop negotiating with your comfort zone and start commanding your actions with authority. Telling yourself, this is what I'm going to do, no matter what. Because discipline is about doing what needs to be done, even when it's inconvenient, even when it's uncomfortable, even when nobody is watching. And that's the key. Nobody is watching. There's no applause. There's no recognition. There's no reward in the moment. Just you and your commitment. Just you and your grind. And that's where true character is built. That's where you prove to yourself that you're serious about your goals, because it's easy to work hard when everything is going well. It's easy to stay consistent when you're seeing results. But what about when progress is slow? What about when you're putting in effort and nothing seems to be changing? What about when you feel stuck? That's where discipline kicks in. That's where you separate yourself from the average mindset. Because average people quit when they don't see immediate results, but conquerors trust the process. They trust that every small step they take is adding up, that every repetition is making them better, that every day of consistency is bringing them closer to their breakthrough. And you've got to build that same level of belief, that same level of trust, because without it, you'll give up too soon, you'll walk away right before things start to change, and you can't afford to do that if you're serious about conquering your life. You've got to stay locked in, focused, and committed, no matter how long it takes, and that means building habits that support your goals, not your excuses, waking up with purpose, managing your time with intention, eliminating distractions that pull you away from your vision, and constantly pushing yourself to be better than you were yesterday. Because conquering is not a one-time event. It's a daily process. It's a lifestyle. It's something you choose over and over again, and the more disciplined you become, the more control you gain over your life, your future, and your results, and eventually that discipline turns into momentum. That momentum turns into confidence, and that confidence turns into results. But it all starts with your willingness to do the work when you don't feel like it, to stay consistent when it's hard, and to keep going when others would quit. Because at the end of the day, being born to conquer means you don't rely on motivation. You rely on discipline, you rely on your commitment, and you rely on your ability to show up every single day and give your best, no matter what, because that's what it takes to win. If you are truly born to conquer, then you need to understand that the greatest battle you will ever face is not out there in the world. It's inside your own mind, because before you can win in life, you have to win within yourself, and that means confronting your fears, silencing your doubts, and refusing to let negative thoughts control your actions, because the truth is, most people don't fail because they lack ability. They fail because they lack belief. They let insecurity, overthinking, and fear of failure stop them before they even begin. But conquerors operate differently. They train their minds to think bigger, to see possibilities where others see limitations, and to stay focused even when everything around them is trying to pull them down. And that's the level you have to reach if you want to dominate your life. You've got to take control of your thoughts and stop feeding your mind with negativity, because whatever you consistently think about will shape your reality. If you keep telling yourself, I can't, I'm not good enough, or this is too hard, then you're programming yourself to lose. But if you flip that script and start telling yourself, I will find a way, I am capable, and I was built for this, then everything begins to change, your energy shifts, your actions improve, and your confidence starts to grow. And that's how you begin to conquer from the inside out. But make no mistake, this isn't something that happens overnight. This is a daily fight, a constant battle where you have to choose discipline over doubt, faith over fear, and action over hesitation, because your mind will try to protect you by keeping you comfortable, by keeping you safe. But comfort is the enemy of greatness, and if you listen to that voice too much, you'll never step outside your limits, you'll never take risks, and you'll never discover what you're truly capable of. So you've got to challenge that voice, you've got to push past it, and you've got to prove to yourself that you are stronger than your fears. And one of the most powerful ways to do that is by surrounding yourself with the right environment, because your mindset is heavily influenced by the people you spend time with, the content you consume, and the habits you build. If you're constantly around negativity, doubt, and low standards, it will drag you down. But if you surround yourself with positivity, growth, and high expectations, it will elevate you, it will push you, and it will inspire you to become better. And that's why conquerors are intentional about their environment. They protect their energy, they guard their mindset, and they stay focused on their vision no matter what distractions come their way. And at the end of the day, conquering your mind means mastering your thoughts, mastering your emotions, and mastering your reactions. It means not letting temporary feelings dictate permanent decisions. It means staying calm under pressure, staying focused in chaos, and staying committed even when things don't go your way, because life will test you, it will challenge you, it will try to break you. But if your mind is strong, if your belief is unshakable, and if your focus is locked in, then nothing can stop you, because everything you need to win is already inside you. You just have to unlock it. You just have to believe it. And you just have to take control, because once you conquer your mind, you don't just survive life, you dominate it. You rise above every obstacle and you step into the greatness you were born for.